Alright, who's next?
I love it.
James is on stage.
Yeah, James is up.
MC?
Yeah.
Play this one.
Yes,
From your heart.
From the heart, yeah.
I played cello in 3rd grade. That's
Really?
Yeah.
Alright.
I can play.
Cello in 3rd grade.
I don't even know what's gonna happen next. I'm just like, yeah. Here, where should I hold my fingers?
Use the pick. Hold on, look.
Yeah, first thing, see, you don't even know about that.
Where do I hold my fingers?
Alright, let's rock out.
Yeah, that'll do something.
Yeah, try that.
Yeah, there you go.
That song's about embarrassment.
That's great,
Good job,
man.
man. Go from the heart. Come on, give it up for him. Pouring his heart out here. That's not why you do it, man.
I know.
It's not for free.
I do it for the money, obviously. Do you guys have any questions? I know many of you are big fans. This might be the first time you get to.
Pizza.
What?
Topping.
Oh yeah. The first question we really always ask is, what are your favorite pizza toppings? Your number one.
Oh.
Number one. Get back up here for
Don't say
this.
pineapple, please.
Definitely not
Just
pineapple.
one
But
time.
It could be.
we're in Florida. This is like, shouldn't it be pineapple? I bet y'all love
No,
pineapple.
it's
We
a
love
cliche.
pineapple.
I
Thank you.
That's a
I know.
stereotype.
Always.
That's a stereotype.
That's Florida
I like,
stereotype.
we came here to play the festival in December, and like we had never seen it before, but in the crowd, everyone had, not everyone, but a ton of people had pineapples. They were just like throwing the pineapples up.
It was called the Pineapple Festival.
It actually wasn't. I was like, what?
It was
is
the
that
dried
for?
pineapple festival. It was weird. They had fresh pineapple.
I like artichocks. Really? I'm not a fan. It's kind of a little sour.
Yeah,
when you
open your mind up for that.
Yeah.
All right, whatever.
I'll probably go with olives. And
Ew.
mushrooms. Those are like the two.
And I'm gonna go like So LA kale.
Brussels sprouts?
Brussels, yes! Now I changed my answer to Brussels sprouts.
I've never even seen a pizza.
Oh yeah.
You've had kale. I've given you kale pizza.
Yeah,
Spinach and
I
beans
didn't spit it out.
This question always raises big controversy between everybody. Yeah.
Yeah, there's some fancy pizza in LA. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
What's the weirdest pizza you've seen out
Goat
there?
cheese. Ooh.
Kale pizza.
Kale.
Has to be.
Yeah, kale pizza.
Just trying to push the envelope a little better.
You know what? I really like a white pie. I love like garlic.
Oh yeah, yeah. But you only get one topping. So garlic.
It's just the cheese, basically.
Wait.
Oh, basil. They put basil on it.
Yeah.
Is that too fancy for y'all?
No, it's good. It's good. So from left to right,
Oh, you fancy, huh?
Kale is where
Not at all.
the line is drawn. Oh, and what about you guys? What's your favorite?
I like pepperoni.
Wow, so
That's
nice.
it. Yeah, pepperoni, no pineapple. Maybe mushrooms and pepperoni.
Yeah,
That's true.
Yeah.
Mushrooms are
good guy.
great. Let's
Can we go around the whole room?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Where did you each first discover your musical talent? And that was something that you wanted to go full force into for the rest of your life.
Left to right, you said.
Okay. So I was in school, elementary school? No, right after middle school, and I got put into a class. It was called strings on my sheet, my roll sheet. It's like, okay, cool. It must be some kind of science class where you get to play with strings. And so I get in, and it's like a music room, and it was supposed to be an orchestra. And so we're supposed to pick our instruments. Like the teacher was going around saying, all right, who wants to be a violin? Who wants to do this? Who wants to be basses? And as soon as he said, who wants to be, as soon as he started asking the question, I was like, I want that one. And I saw an upright bass. At the time, I was probably like this tall, and it was like 2 times my height. I was like, I want that. We're gonna be best friends. I'm gonna strap it to my back, be a Ninja Turtle with this big shell on my back, and go around school conquering everything. And so I fell in love with music through that, just sort of being introduced to the upright bass, and then I played bass most of my life. And then I joined the band with these guys. They're like, cool, add 2 strings to it. We need you on guitar.
Yeah. We're going to bass right now. You get there.
I was playing sports and I broke my ankle. I was in a basketball camp, broke my ankle, 12 years old, and I'd always liked music, but I'd never written, and my mom signed me up for a songwriting camp. I was devastated,
I can't play football?
Yeah, who am I if I'm not sports or whatever?
Yeah.
And then I just fell in love with it instantly. So that was 12 years old. It was a blessing in disguise.
What was your first song that you wrote in songwriting camp?
Do you remember it?
Was it on a computer or something?
Yeah, it was a MIDI camp. One of the first one was called "She's My Angel." She's my angel. I don't even remember who it was about.
Your neighbor. It was about your neighbor.
It's probably my name.
Yeah, Susie. Had a big crush on her?
But yeah.
I don't know.
But it was so cool, man. But it was before I was even playing piano. I was putting in each note of the song with a mouse.
Yeah.
It was like, it was very time intensive, but I was loving it.
How about you?
So when I was 12 years old, I was riding my bike with a group of friends. I got hit by a car while I was riding, and I got knocked out, went into a coma, woke up in the hospital, brain hemorrhage, pretty much almost died. It was totally laid out. And when I came home from the hospital, all my friends were at school, my parents were at work, and my cousin had started taking violin, so we had a violin at the house. And I had the bandage around my head. It was like totally like a fog. I had friends who came to see me, and I don't even remember that they like stopped by. They're like, "You don't remember, man? Brought you flowers." I was like, they had like no idea what was going on. But I remember picking up this violin, and I taught myself how to play basically in a couple of days after the accident, and kind of started from there. Even after the first couple of hours of playing, I could do vibrato, and I remember being like, "Wow, I'm ready to rock out." So when I recovered fully, I went back to school, and like I could play violin, and I joined the orchestra. And I just remember smoking all these like kids that had been studying and taking lessons their whole life. And then after that, I started getting into songwriting and playing guitar, and I just became obsessed with just music and instruments. So like my bedroom when I was in middle school, it was just like I used to find instruments in the trash. So I had like banjo, I got a piano that like my friends' parents were giving away, and like put it on its side and like moved in the bedroom and basically like got rid of all my stuff, and I just would go in a circle and play instruments in a circle, and like I would get around to the violin, viola, get back around to the banjo, and like start again. And I just I just lost my mind.
You took over.
Yeah, it took over.
Now, where did the salsa dancing come in?
That's me.
So actually, when we first Austin first found Zhang playing. He was playing stand-up bass still. Had a curly mustache, and he was playing that stand-up bass that he had gotten back in school. Same one?
No,
It's a different one.
How old were you around this time?
This is 4 years ago.
Yeah, this is 4 years ago. So he told me about Zhang. He's like, yeah, I saw this guy playing bass. He's like, seems really, really dope. So we looked him up, and we found all these salsa videos of him like really killing it, like in the salsa game, like spinning people around. And it was like really cool. So we were like, that's amazing. So then we kind of reached out to him, partially because it was like such a foreign kind of skill set that neither of us had ever kind of experienced. And then what is your salsa background, really, though?
I mean, yeah, so I started a few years back, maybe like 10 years ago. I started taking classes, and then I saw the instructors dance. I was like, oh my gosh, I want to dance like that. I want to dance like the instructors. So I got a fake ID at the time, and I went to all the clubs I could every night just to dance, just to learn, to get my butt kicked. I started teaching. I was like super young and naive. I started teaching people, which was like terrible, but it helped me improve a lot. And then I started, like from there, I just started competing and then like teaching around the world, and then started like traveling, and I took it on very seriously.
How cool.
Yeah, it was like incredible. So like I have that background, so now when I'm on tour, I'll just like pop out after the show, go dance. The bus will swing around, pick me up on the way.
Ceviche.
Yeah, what's the
Ceviche?
salsa?
Ceviche.
On Tuesdays?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess that's where it's really right on. Or what else do you play? Oh,
What about mango?
yes, mangoes too,
yeah.
for sure.
Drive.
I drive. It's a dinner dance club. It's the big one.
That's my vibe.
Yeah.
Great, let's go.
On
And
Tuesday
today's
night,
Tuesday, so
probably.
tonight's the night.
Yeah, because normally like a Taco Tuesday thing.
Oh yeah.
So.
All right,
Yeah,
great.
we
Cancel the
got-
show.
Yeah.
Move it earlier. Something.
I'll make it work.
What was the first song you all wrote together?
It's called "Celebrate the Reckless." Was the
Yeah,
Was-
back in the day.
Yeah, and we ended up kind of like rewriting it a few times, and it kind of when it came time to record our album, it was like kind of the hardest one to figure out. And I think it was because such an early song. Like, there's this thing you can get, we call it demoitis, where it's like your first time you record the song, your first iteration, it seems like it's like it's holy, like it's like you can't beat it. So you really have to sometimes work to get past that first demo because it sounds pretty gay. Show, I like it. And then when you go to kind of like reimagine it when you're producing, you kind of have to throw that away. So Celebrate the Reckless was our first.
Who helps you produce?
So we do the majority of it, the three of us.
We
Then
worked with
this last
this
album,
last time we worked with a producer named Ben Allen. He was out of Atlanta. So we went all around the country. We have this little bus. We put solar panels on it. We were recording we recorded in a redwood tree. We recorded out in this tunnel. We went all over and did little pieces of the recording, and then went to Atlanta to Ben Allen's studio and kind of put it all together and kind of stirred the pot and kind of made sense of it all in a way.
Was there certain like thing about that studio that made it?
About Ben.
Yeah.
I mean, we wanted to go. You know, we live in Los Angeles, and we spend a lot of time on the road, and you know, and sometimes we like to kind of go when we're not home. Like we're not home. No one's in their comfort zone. No one can go home or anything. We're just kind of like we're stuck together on the island of the studio.
Mm-hmm.
So we were interested in going somewhere that wasn't in Los Angeles, and then we talked to a couple of different producers, and he was just had the coolest kind of vibe at the time for us. We were just like connected with him. So.
Is the redwood tree one of the most, I guess, different places you've ever recorded, or do you have something kind of?
It's the best sounding,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, I mean the inside of the tree is like the size of this room, or like half the size of this room.
Yeah, trunk
Yeah.
of a tree. It's like cavernous,
Mhm.
so you can sit inside of it, and that's like what studios are trying to sound like. You know,
Yeah.
okay, we got to get the red oak, put it here, and they're like trying to create.
Yeah, get the
panels to make it
foam or
sound like-
whatever. The
yeah.
foam is just like
It's
you
like
don't have a
naturally
tree.
in the tree.
Yeah, exactly.
And we were just driving, like, it was from one gig to another, and we're like kind of scanning left and
Well,
right.
we
seeing
did reroute a little bit. We were in Seattle. We were going to
Right.
San Francisco, and there's like two routes. You could take the slow road to Georgia, which takes you
It's the
through the
scenic slow road.
redwoods. Yeah, or you can kind of take the fast. So we kind of looked at the map and we're like, you know what, let's go find. We didn't realize that we were gonna be able to record there, but it was kind of like, let's just go check it out because. And actually, the tree is called Avenue of the Giants. It's like this one strip of California highway where it's like, and they're the biggest trees in the world.
Yeah, it's
Is that where some of the roads go through?
Yes.
Exactly.
Wow.
That's where it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So you know in Coming to America how he's looking for his queen, so he goes to Queens?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were looking for our giant, so we go to Avenue of the Giants.
That's awesome. I like
Dad
that.
jokes.
Bad jokes are the best jokes. So, I want to pass this on to you guys. Any questions at all?
You were just out of questions.
You know what happened there? To be honest, I had a question, and then I thought of the road question, and I lost the other question.
That's okay.
Road question was a good question. That was a good question.
Thanks.
Where'd the name come from? Magic Head.
Came from a TED Talk, actually.
Really?
From a visual artist, Peter Tunney, who was talking about his mentor, Jonas Salk, this guy who came up with the cure for polio. But
And did a bunch of other things.
yeah, but he described his mentor as a giant in every sense of the word. And then they showed a photo of Jonas, and he was like, I don't know, maybe 5'2", 5'3" or something.
And he was like an older kind of older gentleman, just like this little photo, and it was just kind of the concept of like you don't have to be big to be a giant. And Jonas Salk to Peter Tunney is like, I mean he's 1,000 feet high, you know, but
Yeah.
really he's just like a dude walking around. So we
Yeah.
like the concept of you don't have to be big to be a giant.
What was your, going off your name, your most magical moment that you remember on stage?
No, we were playing the Firefly Music Festival in Delaware, and there was a girl messaged us like right before. It was like, hey, I wanna propose to my husband, and like I always said I would do it at a Magic Giant show. So like, can we work it out? So we connected with the festival, and she basically like surprised them. They thought that she was like winning like tickets.
They
to,
thought
like,
they were, yeah.
They thought they were like
random
winning a spot
couple.
to like watch from side stage. So like the festival brought him out.
The
and
festival
then-
helped coordinate. They brought
Yeah.
him up. They said, yeah, you get to watch from side stage.
Yeah, and then like she told us like what her favorite song of ours is called Glass Heart. So so she came out, and then instead of like just standing there, she like dropped on one knee, and it was
Got
like
the
this.
mic?
Yeah, and
It
then
was
she was like,
incredible.
we're
Thousands
smashing
of people in
Yeah,
the
she's
crowd.
like, we're smashing the patriarchy. Like, will you marry me? And it was really beautiful. I mean, just like it was just like a huge sea of people, and she's, you know, it was like that iconic kind of engagement photo, but also totally different.
What do you say?
He said,
That's
I don't know, what did he say? Yeah, he said, yeah, they've been
Yeah,
doing
we've seen him
shows.
since,
We've seen him
yeah.
since, yeah.
That's awesome.
That was very cool.
And that was really cool.
Yeah.
And I know you guys do, and even here at the radio station, we have a lot of musicians of all ages trying to, you know, work their way up, keep moving. What is your piece of advice to artists out there, or aspiring artists?
Well, practice. So get as good as you can. And yeah, stick with it.
I think a big one for me, because it often happens, is you're early on, or even now, I guess, but you're trying new things, or you're learning how to use your instrument or sing with it or play a song, and you're not often happy because like you have this idea of where you want to be. I want to be like Bob Dylan. I want to be like Bruce Springsteen. Or I want to be like whomever, Wiz Khalifa. And you're often
Bob Dylan or Wiz Khalifa, or a mix.
yeah, mix of the two. And you're often not impressed, and it's discouraging sometimes. But I think you have to just keep working, keep writing poor songs, and keep doing that stuff, and don't let it stop you, because eventually your craft will become as good as.
Yeah, if you believe in yourself and you know, if you have a vision, like, go stick it through.
And it's good that you're not. You know, that means you have a high standard. That means you know what you want. You know. What you
But
want to
Tim
bring
Ricky
to it.
disagrees.
Well, I mean, I don't
Adding
disagree.
to
I
that.
agree. Adding to that, I think you have to get. There's like a balance between you have to get your music out to people that you don't necessarily know. So like if you keep showing it to your grandma and your girlfriend and like those people, then you get this reinforcement that like
Right.
you might be on the right track and you might not be. So I think it is important to be hard on yourself or be
Yeah,
super
exactly.
self-critical and like get outside your immediate circle, because your immediate circle can tell you you're awesome and you might not be. Yeah. And also songs. We had somebody say that to us early on, like all this other stuff, all this other noise, like it's just about songs. So we try to keep writing on the road and like just, you know, keep that flowing, because really when it comes down to it, it is all about the song. Everything else is kind of window dressing or support, you know.
Guys, this is one of the most enjoyable FM sessions we've
Real.
had.
It was fun. Nice.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much.